I work in construction. Today we were scheduled to demolish an old temple in Iwate Prefecture. As we were working, a colleague called me over. "Hey, come and take a look at this, would you?" Thinking there might have been a problem, I went over. "Ah, you're here. What do you think this is?" And what was there? A long, blackened box. It was really old. Honestly, it was creepy. What is this? We were demolishing a hidden room in the back of the main hall and found it. I'm gonna call the guy in charge. Stay here, would ya? It looked about 2 meters long, and the wood rotten. It seemed incredibly old. A white piece of paper was stuck to it. The characters were old and looked like Sanskrit, and the paper was a mess, so I couldn't read it. The only bit I could make out was Showa, year, July. With this spell, Ryomen Sukuna is sealed. How creepy. I couldn't leave the area, so I walked around the box, looking at it. "Ah, my bad. Sorry to keep you waiting." My colleague returned. The contractor said he'll contact the head monk tomorrow. The box was nailed shut, so it wasn't like it could open by itself, so we placed it in a nearby prefab building and finished the day's work. The next day, I got a call from the contractor before I got to work. About that wooden box from yesterday, the former chief monk got really angry and said not to open it. He's gonna come around and pick it up himself, so just leave it where it is, okay? So then, it was something dangerous. With that on my mind, I made my way towards the prefab building housing it. When I got there, the sight before me made the blood drain from my body. The lid. It was open? Hey, why is it open? Who opened it? A younger worker looked at me, surprised. Sorry, I wanted to know what was inside, so I opened it. More importantly, take a look, would ya? I felt it keenly. This was not something that was supposed to exist. It was the first time I felt fear like that, simply by looking at something. A strange mummy. What the hell? A human mummy? But there were 2 heads. It was a strange mummy with 2 heads, 2 arms on each side, and its hands crossed over its chest, as well as 2 normal legs. At first I thought it was fake Siamese twins, but it seemed too real. Who opened it? Which idiot? I suddenly heard an angry voice from behind me. It seemed to be the chief monk and his son hurrying over in their car. He was so angry that our minds suddenly went blank, and then he started at his son. "I told you to send Ryomen Sukuna-sama to the temple in Kyoto, did I not? You fool! You idiot!" His son simply bowed his head over and over. "It was just you few who saw him? I'm sorry, but your lives are now over." Huh? My colleague and I were speechless, just by looking at it. Well, it might be nothing more than a consolation, but what do you want to do? Shall I cleanse you anyway? Receive a cleansing. When we answered, he chanted for about 30 minutes for us, then strongly hit our backs and shoulders. When he was done, the monk put the wooden box into the car, then turned to my colleague and spoke. You saw Ryomen Sukuna first, so it's already too late for you. I'm sorry, but your lives are now over. 3 years have passed since that day. Just like the monk said, my colleague who first opened the box has already passed away. They said his heart and lungs stopped working, but honestly, I don't know much more than that. Myself, I stood on a nail that required 5 stitches, but I'm still alive. Ryomen Sukuna. Ever since that time, I've wanted to know more about that mummy, so I've investigated various things, but even now, I still don't know what it really is. One day, our company received a request to knock down a building, so I went around to check it out beforehand. When I got there, it was a temple secluded deep in the mountains. Honestly, I wanted to refuse the job. Memories of that day came flooding back with feelings I couldn't describe. We've been waiting for you. A sudden voice scared me, and an old man, around 80 years old, came out of the temple. Ah, nice to meet you. Are you the one who made the request? Yes. Thank you for coming all the way out into the mountains here. Something was odd. Maybe it was the atmosphere around him, but he didn't seem human. That was what I thought. Ryomen Sukuna, you saw it with those eyes, did you not? My blood chilled at those sudden words, and my heart beat wildly. And then I said, I did, but... So it was you. Looking at you, it would seem it has already finished. Already finished? What was he saying? Part of you has now become Ryomen Sukuna. This urban legend possesses such a powerful ability to curse that many of the disasters it has caused have been recorded by history, and it serves as a link to the present as well. This mummy was created by using kodoku magic by a strange human practitioner. Because it strongly resembles the creature Ryomen Sukuna, it was also given that name. A heretic bought strange people from a show hut during the Taisho era in order to use them as tools to create a curse. He did so using kodoku magic. Ryomen Sukuna was the result. This heretic, by the name of Mononobe Tengoku, travelled around Japan with the human mummy, and at each stop, a terrible disaster occurred. The following is a list of places Ryomen Sukuna visited and the disasters that occurred. At present, there is no credibility to this list. In addition, there are some who feel that the character of Ryomen Sukuna in the Nihon Shoki is the same as the Ryomen Sukuna in this scary story, but they are completely separate beings.